like a bird on a tree. I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be. Forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. To be forever free, you and me, meant to be forever free.
Welcome everybody to the marriage of Richard and Abby. I've actually been looking forward to this for quite a while. I've known Abby in particular for a number of years.
And she's grown into a really independent and mature woman. And she's found a great guy as well. That's pretty good. So without further ado, we've actually come together in the sight of God for the marriage of Richard and Abby. Marriage is actually one of God's templates for a lifelong union in which a man and a woman give themselves in mind, body and spirit, so that from this union they'll grow a deepening knowledge and love for one another. That's how it works. In their joys, sometimes frustrations and sorrows, in prosperous times, in hard times, they will learn to share their companionship and still be able to grow in that love and faithfulness to one another. But before we do, I'm going to invite Kate up to share a poem and read out a poem for us. Thanks, Kate.
The art of marriage. A good marriage must be created. In the art of marriage, the little things are the big things. It is never being too old to hold hands. It is remembering to say I love you at least once each day. It is never going to sleep angry. It is having a mutual sense of values and common objectives. It is standing together, facing the world. It is forming a circle of love that gathers the whole family. It is speaking words of appreciation and demonstrating gratitude in thoughtful ways. It is having the capacity to forgive and forget. It is in giving each other an atmosphere in which each can grow. It is finding room for the things of the Spirit. It is a common search for the good and the beautiful. It is not only marrying the right partner, but being the right partner.
Thanks very much, Kate. Normally I'd spend a few moments and just try to unpack what the Bible says about marriage and all those sort of things, but if you really know a little bit about me, I'm a little more philosophical than religious, so I thought I'd just share a few moments on what I think is so important about the marriage promise in the way that God intended. And basically, if you think of philosophically and you look at the reality of life around you, there are only two types of people in the world. And I call the first type the mechanists, the people that look at how the world is made, how it fits together, all the pieces, the beautiful, the stars at night, the sun that rises, the people that move around, all the created order. And they enjoy the world for how it's made, and that's a wonderful thing. And then there are the second group of people that take a little bit of a step back and they look at the agents of the world around them, and that is the one that created this beautiful world. So, as an example, you look at the Ford motor car. You can learn all around how it works and the torque and power and all that sort of stuff, but behind that there was a man named Ford, and he had a really big vision for how that car would be multiplied, etc. And God's the same. If you're in that second group, you have been able to appreciate that behind the world around us is a designer, someone that actually has an intricate purpose and design around this world that we live in. And if that's true, then if there is a God who made everything, then he will know what is the right way that an individual like Abby or like Richard will develop and grow to be the best person they can in this world that he made. And now as a couple, we look at marriage, how this God would be able to have the right template for how Richard and Abby relate to each other in this world that he made. And then as you look broader, there's this beautiful community of people right here that I'm looking at. And that if there is a God who did make everything, then he has the right template for how we live as a community as well. And I think one of the other really fundamental things that I see in creation when I look philosophically is that we all get that we're made in mind, body and spirit. They're the three parts of who we are as human beings. The first two are really easy. You know, we've got the intellect that helps us make right choices, and you've got the physiological body that helps us, in life. And then the third one is that spirituality, which we kind of don't quite get. And unfortunately, I've got to say that religion has really confused that, because religion's not actually what spirituality is about. It's really man's way of trying to catch spirituality like a catcher who doesn't really know what it's all about. I think if you want to know what that third thing of humanity is, mind, body and spirit, it's just about the way the Creator is towards us. Now, I'm not religious, but I know Jesus was a historical figure. He came into our world. He claimed to be that God in the flesh, and he demonstrated who he was by this key way, and that was by sacrifice. So marriage is one of those templates that really only works when you live by this template called sacrifice. And when two partners commit to that word, then it starts to work. So when you look at the Bible and it says that the two shall become one, that's talking about mind, body and spirit. The mind, about consideration for the other person before you. So it's the same with your physical nature, and you know, we're made physical beings and sexual beings, and that's a great gift from God as well. And once again, that you would make your partner place them first in that realm of your physical life as well. But I must say, and I do really believe this, not just as a minister of the word, but as a template for life, that it's very hard to make a marriage work, or to be the individual that God made you to be, or to be in the community that God made you to be, unless you're able to have that, understand that sacrificial love that Jesus brings as well. This tells me that living sacrificially is really good for marriage. It feels right. It works when both partners approach each other in this way. And Jesus, as we know, taught that sacrificially in what way? By actually laying down his life for the world. And really, that's the template that he gives us. So if you want to know what spirituality is, and you want to know how the Creator is towards us, it's all about sacrifice. So hopefully, Richard, you'll start it off, and Abby, you'll follow suit. And that's my real prayer for you both, that you live by sacrifice in mind, body and spirit, and in that you'll have a great relationship. Because we know marriage is beautiful, and it's frustrating at times. It can be very, very hard. But you know, when your partner's got your back, it changes everything. It transforms relationships. And I know I haven't seen a lot of you two, but I've seen enough to think, I think that's the footing that you've already started on. So keep going with it. It's a real testimony to what relationship is all about. Richard, will you take Abby to be your wife, to live together according to God's law? Will you give her the honour due to her as your wife, and forsaking all others, love and protect her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
And Abby, will you take Richard to be your husband, to live together according to God's law? Will you give him the honour due to him as your husband, and forsaking all others, love and protect him as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Excellent. And can I ask, who brings this woman to be married to this man?
We do.
Excellent. Thanks, Mum and Dad.
I, Richard, in the presence of God,
Take you, Abby, to be my wife,
take you, Abby, to be my wife,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
This is my solemn vow and promise.
This is my solemn vow and promise.
I, Abby,
I, Abby,
in the presence of God,
in the presence of God,
take you, Richard, to be my husband,
take you, Richard, to be my husband,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
from this day forward,
for better, for worse,
for better, for worse,
for richer, for poorer,
for richer, for poorer,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
This is my solemn vow and promise.
This is my solemn vow and promise.
I'm just going to pray over these rings.
Thank you.
Oh, Father God, grant that these rings will become a token and a constant sign of the pledge of love and faithfulness which Richard and Abby make to each other. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Take Abby's
Abby, with this ring I wed you,
with all that I am
with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I have.
I honour you
I honour you,
in the name of God. Amen.
in the name of God. Amen.
Richard,
Richard,
with this ring I wed you,
with this ring I wed you,
with all that I am
with all that I am
and all that I have,
and all that I have.
I honour you
I honour you
in the name of God.
in the name of God.
Amen.
Amen.
Those whom God has joined together, let no man separate. Before God, in front of us all, by solemn consent and promise, by the giving and receiving of rings, and also by the joining of hands, Richard and Abby have now accepted each other in marriage. In the name of God, I declare them to be husband and wife, and you may kiss the bride.
What would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah, and I said, ooh, my words are few, but I love you.
Can I introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Richard and Abby Pappas? Give them a round of applause.
I can't begin to comprehend what you've been through. I wish it was all just pretend. Just enough.
Thanks everybody for coming out today.
Don't let your heart go dead. For God restores and brings hope and grace, and truth and life. And I said, ooh, what would you do if you could lose all your burdens? Yeah, and I said, ooh, my words are few, gone straight to my head. Take the pills and go to bed, but I'm still hooked on it. Well, you are sacred in a way. I don't know God, but still have faith that He will manifest some way when I am next to you. Asked your father for your hand, but it didn't matter what he said. The thought of you in a white dress, I don't think I can shake it. Get a little place upstate, stay till the kids all graduate. Talk of moving every day, but who are we kidding?
Hello, well, firstly I'd like to say that I feel very comfortable here today, having asked me to say a few words on behalf of the Pappas family, and really it's quite easy for me because my job here today isn't to drudge up anything embarrassing from Richie's past, or Abby's for that matter. It's much simpler. It's to officially welcome Abby into the Pappas family. Before I do that though, it is customary during the traditional father of the groom speech to pass down some impending wisdom about marriage to his son. That being said, and if you know my dad, it makes a bit more sense why he's decided to pass the baton to somebody else. No worries. But unfortunately for Richard, I'm just as unqualified to pass down any meaningful lessons about lasting relationships or marriage. But not all is lost. Luckily for Richard and Abby, the example has been set. You see, Abby's parents, Michael and Colleen, have developed a loving family and a very successful marriage. So my advice to you both is quite simple if you're ever looking for advice, and it's to follow a simple acronym, WWMCD, which of course stands for What Would Michael and Colleen Do? Now, on behalf of the family, I'd like to say a few words to Richard that articulate just how proud we are of the man that you've become. But first, to truly appreciate Richard's character, I need to explain something to everybody. You see, it is commonly accepted that, comparatively speaking, when growing up, the firstborn child receives a lot more attention than the second. The third child, again, grows up with looser boundaries and lesser rules than the other two. Well, you can imagine just just the amount of lack of attention that goes into the fourth child, who in our family is, of course, Richie. But not only was Richie the fourth child, he was also the fourth child that was quickly preceded by the family's fifth child, and the family's only daughter, and the daughter that my mother has always wanted. Richard, it's not lost to us the challenges you would have faced growing up in what was a very busy household. Someone with lesser character may have fallen into the wrong crowd or made some questionable decisions. But alas, here we are. At 26, you were the first to truly commit to the woman you love. You have 2 properties, a brown belt, and a lasting career that will take you both quite far. I did say pause for applause, so that's good, thank you. Your success is a credit to you, and on behalf of all those here today and those who can't be here today but are in our hearts, I just want to say we are all so proud. Okay, I know what you're all thinking. Maybe the lady to Richard's right had a little bit to do with his success, and I wouldn't disagree with you. So it is now time to finally introduce and officially welcome you, into our family, the Pappas family. Abby, from our very first interactions, I've always known this day would come. You very quickly became a sister to my sister, a sister to me and my brothers, and a daughter to my father. Today you become Richard's wife, and we couldn't be any happier. To you both, your maturity, level-headedness, openness with each other is exactly why this marriage will succeed. We all look forward to watching you grow into the future. Please know we're all here should you need us, especially when it comes to babysitting. If you don't mind, if we could all just raise a glass to Richard and Abby. Congratulations. Come on.
Alrighty, so the next one we're going to hear from is Michael. So if Abby's dad could come up to the stage, give him a nice warm welcome, everybody.
Hello and welcome everybody. As I sat down to write this speech, I began to think of the first that you achieve in life. First day of school, the first day of starting work, the birth of your children, the first of your children to be married, and also welcoming new members into your family. And in the past couple of years, we have been blessed by welcoming lots of people joining us, especially our grandchildren, Nixon and Lola, recently Lola. So today, I welcome to our family Richard and the Pappas family. For 10 years, as of last Friday, but today is extremely special and blessed. I recall recently someone said to me, do I remember much about our kids growing up? I was rather embarrassed when I said not much. But I do remember Abby being born and how Joel and Liam came to the hospital not long after she was born. However, I had to reload the film into the camera. Afterwards, taking the film in those days to the chemist to be developed, for the chemist to send it away, and picking up the newly printed photos of our daughter. However, no pictures. I had neglected to load the film properly onto the camera. But even though Abby says there is no photos, there is some. I also recall the days of when the boys were at school. Abby, not yet old enough, waiting with Kate, who read the lovely poem today, waiting under the tree for their brothers to finish school. The Christmas concert at preschool, when Abby was too nervous to participate and stayed very close to the teacher's side, almost joined at the hip. Then Abby and Kate decided to do Fizzy together. Oh no, the nerves kicked in again. But we now have something to give her to help her. Rescue remedy in a bottle. Abby, Mum's bought some today if you want. A couple of drops under the tongue. Are you all right? Okay, good. All right. However, they did manage to compete in a couple of competitions. Next was netball. We thought this was great. The boys played soccer and netball for Abby. Our Saturdays were filled. The second training session, Abby and Kate were paired up. All was going great. Then Abby's hands were not fast enough. Bam! The ball hits her in the face, tears and a bleeding nose. That's it, no more netball. Then Abby started at Red Rooster, a part-time job. Great, our little girl is now working. Late night pickups, early morning drop-offs. Abby worked her way up into a manager's position. And along came a young, handsome Richard Pappas. This was a no-no, a manager dating a kitchen hand. But here we are today, 10 years later, and look at it. Beautiful. As most of you are aware, Abby enrolled in TAFE in nursing and graduated and is now working at Nepean Hospital. Richard joined the corrective services and has achieved a great lot in his job that he's doing. We, as a family, are proud of your careers. Then they both joined Fujitsu. And I thought to myself, how much can you learn about air conditioners? But they told me it's Jiu-Jitsu, martial arts. Great. Abby could not handle a netball in the face. How will she handle competing in a competition against somebody else? But she was rather good at rising through various stages and gaining coloured belts for each achievement. Just a quick mention, when we do the father-daughter dance, okay, please keep in mind that I attended an all-boys school. And when we learned to dance, there were no girls. So I was always picked as the girl. All right, so just remember my two left feet. And lastly, I would like to thank anyone who has been a part of Richard and Abby's life so far. You should be proud of the way they have matured and have grown up. Today, Richard and Abby, Colin and I wish and pray for you both as you start your married life together. And as you look around this room, see how lucky and blessed you have that you have these people in your life. May God bless you both. To Richard and Abby, may they be blessed in life.
Alrighty, now we've got the best man, Darren, coming up.
Hello everyone, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Darren. I didn't really know where to start with this, so I thought I'd trawl the internet and get some ideas. After a couple of hours, I found some really good stuff. But then I remembered I'm supposed to be writing a speech, so I cleared my search history and got back to it. Back in 2009, Richard met the person that he wanted to have by his side for the rest of his life. A beautiful relationship with someone that has been absolutely perfect for him in every single way. Richard and I have been inseparable ever since then. I have a few stories that I would like to share that will turn Pappas white in the face and make this one of the most uncomfortable moments of his life. But unfortunately, I was involved in all of these events and I don't want to tarnish my own reputation, so I'll give it a miss on this occasion. I remember the first time that Richard mentioned Abby to me. I was asking him to come out and find some girls, but I was shocked when he knocked me back and stayed home because he really liked this girl named Abby that he worked with at Red Rooster. At the time, I thought he was crazy, but little did I know he had met the girl of his dreams already. Now I'd like you, Abby, if you could place your hand on the table with your palm face down. Whichever you like. Now Richard, place your hand on top of Abby's. Now I want you to remember this, Rich, because it's the last time you're ever going to have the upper hand. Richard and Abby are one of the only couples that I've ever met that I can honestly say that I know they will be together for the rest of their lives. I couldn't be happier for my best mate, and I thank you, Abby and Richie, for letting me be a part of your special day. And Abby, I'll continue to support your battle to get Richard to buy clothes from somewhere other than Kmart. I also wanted to say, Abby, Rosie used to look absolutely beautiful, and Joel and Liam, thank you for making sure Abby got here almost on time today. and in one piece. Now, I know we've done this twice already, but if everyone could just raise a glass for the newlywed, Mr. and Mrs. Pappas.
Hello everyone, thank you all for coming today to celebrate my beautiful brother and sister-in-law, finally, on this amazing day. I think we can all agree that Abby makes the most beautiful bride in the world, and Spock, you look as fabulous as always. I've known this lady for over 10 years now, and you wouldn't think this by looking at us, but our relationship started off a little bit rocky when Abby ignored me at the gym during school sports. You remember that? I thought she was rude for not approaching me, but obviously we hit it off and became the best of friends. Abby was the big sister that I never really knew I needed. She was there, no. She didn't know.
Oh, where are we? I don't know why she's so upset. It's a shopping list. Successful mission.
She was there for every school event, every formal, every hair appointment because I was too scared to go alone, and every milestone from birthdays to handing in assignments. She was there with smiles and flowers every single time. We all thank our lucky stars that she came along when she did, because she turned Richard's whole life around for the better. She motivated him, supported him, and loved him more than anyone else in the world could. They've achieved so much together, from working at Red Rooster to building careers, buying their first home, and raising their fur baby Thor. Abby, you've known from day one that you've been an integral part of the Pappas family, but I would like to officially welcome you and your amazing family to our big crazy family. And while I'm here, I'd like to officially introduce your parents to Dad, in case he hasn't done so yet. Give us a wave, Jimmy. Give us a wave. There you go. All jokes aside, I'd also just like to say that you know that Mum would have welcomed you with open arms.
Yeah. So we have our hummus. And would have been so proud of what you've both achieved. We can't wait to watch you. Can't wait to duck, it's pretty dark. Can't wait to watch you both grow up and keep smashing all your goals. And you know we will be there every step of the way.
I think we should all raise our glasses to toast this beautiful couple and thank God for that 18th of October 2009 when Richard and I were sitting on our bunk bed. Rich texted Abby, "So what should I call you?" And Abby replied, "I don't know. When people ask, just say that's my girl."
And we come to our last speech for the night. We've got the big man, Rich. I'll give you a speech, mate.
I'd firstly like to say hello everybody and thank you for coming to celebrate this very special day with Abby and I. Firstly, I'd like to say that Abby and I decided that we would do a short joint speech because she's terrified of speaking in front of everyone, and as am I. I'm not much better at all. We would like to extend a massive appreciation to those who have travelled from far away to be here today. Liam and Grace, Nathan and Nikki from Adelaide, Merritt and Mike from Tassie. We're truly thankful for your presence here. It means a lot to us and our families, so thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who has done important things behind the scenes. This includes the crew of Belgenny Farm, Maddie Morris, the video extraordinaire. Where is he? There he is. Kat, our photographer, Mel, the offsider. Thank you very much. Connor, the wizard behind the decks. Cheers, Bella. Thank you. Darren, Corey, Jesse. I couldn't have picked three uglier guys to be here today to celebrate with me. Thank you. In all seriousness, I've known these boys since we were kids, from making sparkler bombs to playing computer games for probably 12 hours straight. I would never have thought that I would be so lucky to have the best group of boys as my best mates. You guys scrub up alright? And yes, ladies, Darren is single and keen to mingle, even though it doesn't look it. Thank you. Rosie, Liam and Joel. You all look beautiful today. Abby is truly lucky to have her three best friends standing next to her on the best day of our lives. Rosie, I'm lucky that from day dot you and Abby kicked it off like you were sisters. Now you share everything, including the same last name. Stop. Joel, Liam. I thought that growing up with three brothers was hard enough. Until I met Abby and saw that both of you were over 100 kilos and extremely protective of your little sister. But once time ticked by, I knew that you both had accepted me and made me feel like I was part of the Neely family. Thank you. I can proudly say that I have 5 older brothers. Dave, I'm shocked you're off the couch and could make it today. Yeah, that'll be right. He's not even listening. Cool. Chris, Matt, Danny. I've learned a few things from you guys. I can proudly say that I hate the TV show Frasier, Buffy, and eating chicken nuggets for dinner. Yeah, he'll say that he raised me, but it's all good. Rosie, thank you for helping Abby and I plan today. Rosie and I were known as the babies growing up. We were the two who would get mum or dad to give us anything we ever wanted. Although I tried countless times trying to get my own room, but failed for 15 years. So, guys, we've been through a lot lately, some tough times, but I'm so thankful that we can do it together. Abby and I are thankful that you all accepted her into our family, and I couldn't have asked for a better family. Mum and Dad, Colin and Michael, as everyone knows them. I'm a big soul. I just realised that today. I still remember the day you both walked through the front door and my heartbeat was about 200 beats per minute. I was a 16-year-old boy. You both stood at the front door and said, "You weren't kissing, were you?" You both made it very easy to date your daughter, Abby, as long as Abby was home before 9 p.m. The last 10 years have gone so quick. There's been so many experiences that I've been a part of with your family. You all made me feel like I was part of the family from the very beginning. And for this, I'm incredibly thankful. We also are extremely thankful for your help with today. Helping to organise things, going to wine tastings because we have no idea about wine, and spending countless... Yeah, I'm sure it was a hard task. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, the wine's great. And helping to organise, going to wine tastings, yep, and spending countless hours talking about the little things that are essential for the wedding day. So thank you, we love you so much. Abby Kate Pappas, my wife. Very first point, please could everyone raise your glass to how much effort and planning went into today. Abby, you have absolutely smashed it, well done. To Abby. Who would have known that sharing an ice cream cake on our lunch break at Red Rooster would end up changing our lives forever? 10 years ago, I built up the courage to ask Abby a very important question, which was, do you like the TV show Family Guy? Thankfully, she said yes. And this was how I managed to get her number. Smooth, eh? Straight up player. I've never gone out ever since. A lot of people will promise each other a lot on a day like today. I can't promise we won't fight. I can't promise that I won't spend hours in front of the computer playing games for hours. But what I can promise is that I'll love you forever, even when times get hard and I've put on 30 kilos and do nothing but spend hours in the garden. I can't wait to continue our lives together as a married couple, to become absolute killer BJJ black belts, and show the world that nothing will stop this power couple from growing old and better looking. I love you. Mum and Dad, thank you for bringing this absolutely stunning bride into this world. You made it seem so easy, accepting that I would be the one to be your husband, and for that I am so grateful. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I love you, Abby. And let's raise our glass, guys. Last one of the evening, and the first of many drinks to come. To Abby and Richard.
Worth falling for. Oh, and with open arms I'll carry yours. worth falling for. Oh, and with open arms I'll carry yours. Come, rain or shine, I'll cover you up and calm the skies. As long as you are mine, I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time. It won't always be easy, but just as sure as the sun will rise, I'll be there when you need me. With every tear that falls from your eyes, oh, you have me completely. I'll be there when I'll be there when you need me. I'll be there when you need me. Trust, it builds a home, and ours is a sacred place where we both belong. Faith, a planted tree. Oh, and it's growing its roots under you and me. As long as we both breathe, I'll be there when you need me. You can count on it every time. It won't always be easy, but just as sure as the sun will rise, I'll be there when you need me. With every tear that falls from